Alright, this is part 2 of our lesson on solving radical equations algebraically. Some of these problems will be a little bit more challenging than the ones that we've done before, so watch out for that. Now, guys, it is midnight, okay? I almost didn't make this video because I need to go to bed. But I'm going to compromise, and I'm going to make this video, but I'm going to do the problems a lot faster than I normally do. So I apologize in advance for how fast I'm going to be talking. If I go too fast, just rewind and play it again. Having said that, don't copy off of me. Watch me do it if you have to. See how I do it. See what your mistake was. But you shouldn't have a pencil in your hand while the video is running. Always go back and do the problems by yourself. Otherwise, you're not learning anything and you will fail the test. Okay, so hold on, let me make this a little smaller. The radical is already by itself, so we can go ahead and square both sides of this thing. That's going to make the radical go away, so I'll have 8x plus 1. Over here, if you square a binomial, you can't just square the pieces. You have to understand that you got to do a binomial times a binomial. So over here I have 8x plus 1. But over here, if I double distribute, I'm going to have x squared plus 4x plus 4. Now, I see x's and x squared, so I need to get 0 on one side. So I will subtract 8x from both sides, and I will subtract 1 from both sides. That'll give me 0 equals x squared minus 4x plus 3. Now, this is probably factorable, so let's go for that. So x squared, that'll be x times x. 3, I'm thinking 3 times 1, negative 4, so negative and negative. So, and that makes positive 3. So there we factored it. If I set each of these equal to 0, that's going to give me x equals 3, and I will get x equals 1. Now, we need to at least mentally check back to make sure that neither of these will be extraneous. Okay, so like if I put 3 in here, that's going to be 24 plus 1 is 25. Square root of 25 is 5. So on the left side, I'm mentally checking it. Okay, on the left side, I'm getting 5. If I put 3 in right here, I'm going to get 3 plus 2. That's also 5. So it does check out. So that's the answer to number 7. Similarly, if you substitute 1 in, you're going to get 3 and 3. So there are 2 solutions to number 7. Alright, for number 8, you want to subtract 4 from both sides before you divide by negative 2. So that's going to give us negative 2 times the fifth root of 2x minus 1 is equal to negative 4. Then we divide both sides by the negative 2. So that will give us the fifth root of 2x minus 1 is equal to positive 2. Now I can go ahead and do the fifth power to both sides. So fifth power, fifth power. So that's going to give us 2x minus 1 is equal to 32. Okay, to the fifth power. Remember, you probably will not have your TI-30XS multi-view. So how would you do that? Well, I need to be giving you one of those table of values. Did I not give you one on this assignment? Alright, so you have to use, on the test, I will give you a table of values like this one. So if I wanted to do 2 to the fifth power, I could just go 2 to the fifth power, and that's 32. Okay, anyway, got to keep going. Add 1 to both sides. So that's going to give me 2x equals 33. Alright, it's looking a little ugly. Then we will divide both sides by 2. No decimals, please. No decimals. So that's going to give me x equals 33 over 2. unless I made a mistake. Anytime I go this fast, I'm likely to make a mistake. Anyway, let's assume that's the answer for now. Let's put a box around that. Alright, and then you would plug that back in to make sure that it actually works. But for now, I'm going to assume that it does, because I don't have time to check all these. Alright, so that is the answer to number 8. Number 9. It's immediately time to cube both sides of the problem. So cube this, cube that. So that is going to make the radical go away. So I will have x plus 40 is equal to negative 125. Again, 5 to the third power, that's 125. And it's negative, it stays negative when you have an odd power. Time 2, subtract 40 from both sides. So that's going to give me x is equal to negative 165. Okay, and I'm sure that that's going to be the answer. So I'm just going to move on. Number 10, got to square both sides to get rid of those radicals. So that'll be 2x minus 1 equals x plus 4. Subtracting x from both sides gives me x minus 1 is equal to 4. Adding 1 to both sides gives me x equals 5. Okay, just mentally, if I put 5 in here, I get 5 plus 4 is 9, so that's going to make 3 if I plug it in. Over here, 2 times 5 is 10, minus 1 is 9, square root is 3 again. So it does check out. That's the answer to number 10. Number 11, we need to put these on opposite sides of the equation from each other. So we are going to add 2 radical x to both sides. So that will give us the square root of 2x plus 10 is equal to, wait, I forgot the radical, is equal to positive 2 radical x. Now, normally we don't like to have a number in front. I don't think we've ever done a problem like this before. But we have no choice. We have to put it somewhere. There's no way to get rid of it. So we have to go ahead and square both sides. So just be careful. We're squaring the left side of the equation, and we are squaring the right side of the equation. That includes the 2. That has to get squared also. So what's going to happen is basically, okay, so this will obviously cancel out the radical. So I'll have 2x plus 10. But over here, I'm squaring the 2 and the radical x. So squaring the 2, I'm going to get 4. Square the radical x, the radical goes away, and you have x. So there you go, 4x. Let's put these x terms together by subtracting 2x from both sides. So that'll give me 10 is equal to 2x. And then we will get the x by itself by dividing both sides by 2. So that's going to give me 5 equals x. Okay, 2 radical 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. And that'll be 2 radical 5 as well. Alright, I'm mentally checking it, and it works. So that's the answer to number 11. Alright, number 12 is similar to number 11. This is the best we can do. We can't get rid of that 2 like we usually like to. So we are going to cube both sides of the equation. But when we do, we're going to have to cube the 2 as well, separately. Okay, so 2 to the third power is 8. So that's really the key to this whole thing, is understanding we're going to do 2 to the third power and get 8. Now, use parentheses. When you do the third power to this cube root, the radical gets canceled out. So you have 10 minus 3x. But keep it in parentheses so you know what to do with the 8. Over here the radical goes away, so you have 2 minus x. So we need to distribute the 8 that we got by cubing the 2. So that'll be 80 minus 24x is equal to 2 minus x. Let's get these x terms together. I like to keep things positive, so I'm going to add 24x to both sides. So far that gives me 80 is equal to 2 plus 23x. Then I would go ahead and subtract 2 from both sides. So that'll give me 78 is equal to 23x. Alright, this is quite the ugly answer, is it not? Oh, I always fear that I made a mistake when I see answers this ugly. But the last time I was right, so maybe this is just what it is. Alright, so that is probably the answer. I'm going to check it in Wolfram Alpha to be sure. Yep, Wolfram Alpha said that is indeed the correct answer. So that is the answer to number 12. And I think that's the last problem on this lesson. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. It only took me 11 minutes to finish this video. Alright guys, I hope it was helpful. Please don't copy off the video. If you copied off of any of these, do yourself a favor, go back and do these problems by yourself on like scratch paper or something. Otherwise you're going to fail the test that's coming up. Alright, peace.